Right, hello. Tonight's class is on developing love for ourself. Okay, self-love. And it's the 12th of the 12th, 23, Tuesday evening. And tonight's class is the same as last week's, but with a slight twist, because if we find it difficult to experience love towards ourselves, then rather than thinking, oh, I'm not very good at it or it's not working, there's an opportunity in that to look at the thing that's opposing it or blocking it. So we never lose in meditation if we learn opposite states of mind, because opposite states of mind can't exist together. Just like we can't think yes and no at the same time. In the same moment, we can't think yes and no. Have a little go. Two, 4 or 5 seconds. See? Can't think unless you're dead, in which case you've kerfuddled me. But I find I can't think the word yes and no at the same time. And in the same way, we can't have opposing states of mind at the same time. So we can't have compassion, which wishes for someone to be free of their suffering, and anger, which wishes for someone to be in suffering, or actually have more suffering. Those two things are opposite, so they can't occur at the same time. You can't wish for someone to be free from suffering and have more suffering at the same time. Just doesn't work. So if we start to learn opposite states of mind, then like another one is rejoicing in somebody's qualities or possessions. We can't rejoice in their qualities and possessions and feel jealous at the same time, because jealous mind goes, you shouldn't have that, I should have it. Why have you got that? You're not as good as me, I should have that. So those two minds can't work at the same time, rejoicing in others' qualities and possessions and jealousy. We can't be experiencing emptiness, i.e. the unfindability of objects, and be under the influence of the delusion that perceives objects. Can't have both. Can't have both of those. And there's loads and loads of these. Attachment, I want you to make me happy. And love, I want you to be happy. Can't have those at the same time. And in my experience, the opposite of self-love is self-loathing. So I want affectionate love, I want all to be well in here. I want all to be well in here. And it doesn't matter what's happened, because it's unconditional love, like we might have for our little puppy or a kitten or our child or our, elderly grandparent or whatever it might be, a close friend who's dying of cancer, whatever it is, that heart opens. That heart opens and it's unconditional. We can't have that and have self-loathing that goes, excuse my French, you're a piece of shit, you're disgusting, you're horrible, can't believe those things you've done. That's all conditional hate. I hate myself because I've done X, Y, Z. We can't have that and have unconditional love, which is I love myself. I love this. I love this in a gentle, soft, really soft, gentle way. I love this. That mind that berates us. Yeah, I can't believe you've done that again. You're such a fool. And that's a hard mind. That's a tough, hard mind. A gentle, soft mind can't happen at the same time. Like we can't think yes and no. And so if we do a meditation on love, loving ourselves, and we just can't get into it, then there's an opportunity to look for what's the opposite, because it must be there. If we can't get into it, the opposite must be there blocking it. And therefore we switch from developing affectionate love for ourselves to being mindful of the opposite. And before that step, we have to find it. So we go on a little hunt, like an Easter egg hunt. We're going round and we're looking, where's this self-loathing? Where is it? And it can be quite a subtle mind in my experience. For you, it might be different, but the voice of it is what's the word? We always know that voice that goes, you tosser, what have you done that for? You're Egypt. Or, oh, not doing that again. Why can you never get that right? That's really obvious, that thought. And we can speak, we can listen to our feelings. We can listen to our feelings. So the mind of self-love, it has a feeling to it, a sense to it, and it has a voice. It has a voice. It might be a voice. Well, have a listen to it tonight, see if it comes up. And maybe another night. It might just say, it's all right. It might just say, it's all right. It's okay. Or it might not need to say anything. It might just be space. It might just hold everything without aversion. Or it might drift into self-compassion and go, you've had some hard times, haven't you? You've had some hard times. You're still here. You've had some hard times. You're doing all right. But that must have been hard. Well, we're speaking to ourselves. It will be, that was hard. In a really gentle way, not in a pitying way, not in a self-critical way, in that love-based compassion way. And compassion comes from love. We have love, we contemplate suffering, we get compassion. Well, that's the way we're moving in that direction. So there's always an opportunity in meditation. If something really is struggling, the classical advice is to keep going with that meditation, to keep going with it, to keep sort of working on it and working on it and working on it. And I just think skillfully, in my own experience, there's an opportunity. If it's that difficult, what's holding it up? What's there to be discovered? When we find self-loathing as a feeling and as a thought, sometimes it's easiest to get the thought and then think, if these thoughts are here, there must be the feeling here of the mind of self-loathing, if these critical voices are here. So let me look for it. Please be patient with that, because if you've got a busy mind and you've got a busy heart or a closed heart or a hurt heart, this self-loathing can be very subtle and not so easy to find. But it's an adventure to go on. It's a little adventure to go on to try and find it, because when we do, and we bring full awareness to it and accept it as it is, it loses its power, it loses its potency, it loses its determination to spoil our life and abuse us. That's its job. You wouldn't put up with that sort of voice from anyone else. That self-critical voice. We'd go to HR if we were in a company, wouldn't we? If somebody sat next to us and said to us the things that our inner voice, inner critic says to us, we'd go to HR. We go, this is not right. This is inappropriate. This is hate speech, even. This is bullying. So we have to take our time, hear the thoughts, come into the feelings, and then the meditation is very special, far more than if we just sat there thinking, oh, why can't I develop love for myself? That just reduces our confidence in meditation. Whereas slipping around the back into the other side of things, the other side of the coin, that increases our confidence, even if we're just looking for it a little bit, because there's something to do there other than, well, it's like we're trying to improve something and there's a block. Well, you can bang on that forever unless you let go of the block, and then you start moving. You might do a meditation on, so during the day, the level of our self-loathing probably goes up and down. Depending on which part of that day we sit to meditate, we'll get a better or worse experience of loving ourselves. And it's just potluck as to where we start, as to where that self-loathing wave is, if we aren't actively looking for it around the back. And what we tend to judge is, oh, I was good at meditation that time, or I was a bit rubbish. Well, that's not the case. You were just in a circumstance. You were in a moment. You were in 10 minutes of moments in the flow of that self-loathing, trying to practice self-love. And we can go around the back and we can start to observe the self-loathing, and it will fall away. It will fall away. And it's been running the show. We restrict what we do from that critical voice. That critical voice tells us, you're no good at this and you're no good at that, and you'll fail at this and you'll fail at that. People are going to laugh at you. People will mock you. You'll look silly. Some of those voices you might recognize as parents, teachers, siblings, ex-friends who weren't really friends, whatever it might be. I just think it's beautiful. It's absolutely wonderful and beautiful to start to be the boss of that mind, to not let it run the show. It's been running the show. I guarantee you it's been running the show on some level. And what's behind it is stillness and love. And that's what we are. If we want to associate as anything, that's what we are, because they require no effort. So they're true. Anything that's false requires effort. Lies, 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 lies. Falsity, falsity, falsity. Truth doesn't really require any effort. It's just a settlement of a disordered mind, and then things are seen clearly. So just watching, just observing self-loathing takes the energy out of it, because it's not being pushed up, it's dropping down again. Pushed up, agitated, fighting it, being frightened of it. We're primarily frightened of the critical mind. We're frightened of it and we believe it. Is that true? We believe it, right? And that gives it power. When we stop believing it, we don't have to hate it or beat it up or take it on. We just watch it. Because acceptance is love. We want to be accepted. We want to be completely accepted by people, by someone. And that someone can be ourself. And that's what this meditation is, actually. And then that self-loathing just starts to fall away. It's not so, it might come back up a bit, but it starts to fall away and it stops running the show. And then we can make choices from love rather than from self-loathing. I will have a go at that. I will try that. It doesn't matter if I'm not doing that. From a place of love, we have a much smaller to-do list often. We're not trying to justify ourselves through action. We're not trying to impress anyone. We're not trying to pander to that self-loathing voice that says, "Oh, you didn't get through all 20 things on your to-do list today. You've had a bad day." Well, not a bad day. So what? I've done 2 things out of 20. Are any of those 20 things really that important on my deathbed? Maybe they are. But it's for us to check, not our self-loathing mind. And it's not as powerful as it seems. A lot of these states of mind really are the mighty Oz, the wizard's curtain, Wizard of Oz. You look behind the curtain and there's a little bloke there with a loud hailer. I am the mighty Oz. Well, no, it's a little bloke with a loud hailer. And that's what this is. The negative states of mind in here, they're nowhere near as bad as they seem. And that's the beauty of mindfulness. It's pulling away that wizard's curtain and realizing that what's there, we can sit with it. Might need help with a meditation teacher, or a friend or a partner to sit with something that's awkward, to guide you into that state of mind. That's my job, is to guide you into the negative state of mind, support you, to hold you in it, and to be with you in it, and then sit. Because the process goes from fear to acceptance of this state of mind. And our mind is conditioned to be fearful. It's conditioned to be fearful. That's right. Conditioned to be fearful, if we check. And we have a child's mind. We don't grow up mentally until we start to meditate, or go through a lot of counseling actually as well. But primarily meditation in any form that isn't trying to produce states of mind, but is watching. Mindfulness, Zazen practice. There may be other things in other traditions. That's an adult mind. It's not panicking with what's coming up, to some degree. Just like we don't panic if we bang our toe now as an adult, whereas we will as a child and we'll cry. We can experience internal feelings and not have a tantrum, not have a panic. That's my job, to help you not to panic. Okay, so get yourself comfortable. We'll do body relaxation. a breathing meditation, and then we'll practice some self-love. And if it's not going so well, I'll guide you into watching for the self-loathing. Okay. And it's all right. It's okay to do this. Don't worry. We'll do it together. Keep relaxed. Keep breathing. And watch. Okay, so we can start by actually recognizing that whether we have this critical voice inside of us or not. Straight away, do you have that critical voice inside of you? Does it run the show to some degree? What impact does it have in your life? And what impact has it had in your life? Spend the next 30 seconds or so contemplating this. And this is meditation, because if the mind wanders away, we come back to this contemplation. That brings in the mindfulness component, so it is meditation. I'll leave you to think about what impact your self-loathing has had in your life and the sort of things it says to you. And ask yourself, did I believe it? Did I believe that voice? And just check, action-based. Did it change your life? Were you quite clearly acting from those fears at times? And I would like to think, what would it be like to not have that critical voice in your head in terms of actions for the future? So we can be playful with this. We can be motivating for this. I'd like to imagine that you're never going to get another critical voice, self-critical voice in your head. What sort of things might you do? Okay. So that can help. That can be quite an important start to a meditation, to do a part like this. It shows us what's the truth of the past and what can be got from the future. And that can help us to buy into the practice. So now we're going to do the body relaxation, which is a form of loving kindness. So please do it gently, do it lovingly, tenderly. Bring your awareness to your body and just let it be. Let it feel however it feels. And now bring your awareness to your face with your jaw muscles. Let them relax. Let your jaw muscles relax. It's very much the case that the tension of the day builds up in the jaw muscles. That's why most meditation, body relaxation scans, body scans start with the jaw muscles. Now bring your awareness to your brow. Again, our brow can get quite furrowed and tight with tensions of the day. So imagine the space between the eyebrows widens a little, and this area in between, which is the basis of our insight, becomes supple. And now bring your awareness to your left shoulder. And scan all the way down the left arm, upper arm, lower arm, hands, fingers, right to the fingertips and the thumb tip. Any tension you find, relax it off lovingly, gently. And now from the right shoulder, all the way down. And from the left hip, check in with our mind carefully through the thigh, the calf, the ankle, the feet, the arch of the foot, the toes, the heel. Check for any tension, loosen off anywhere you find it. And now from the right hip, the same thing. All the way down. And now bringing the awareness to the shoulders, back up to the shoulders. Allow the arms to rest under their own weight. And imagine warm sunshine is radiating down deep into the muscles of the neck and the shoulders. Bringing love into these muscles. But bringing love into a muscle is paradoxical because love accepts things as they are. So we're not trying to relax that muscle. We're accepting it as it is. And in doing so, the muscle relaxes, at least a little bit. So we bring love into our body, we accept the things as they are. And that relaxes the mind, relaxes the muscles. Now we visualize inside of our body cavity, black smoke swirling around. And bound up in it is our worries. Simple as that, our worries are bound up in it. And with 3 nice, steady, deep out breaths, we visualize the black smoke and the worries going into the distance. We can have a tendency to hang on to our worries, sort of like they define us. Let go of them in this meditation. Breathe out your worries with the black smoke into the distance. And then we bring our breathing back to its normal rhythm. And as you breathe in, visualize sparkling golden light. It's pure acceptance, very gentle, light acceptance into all the sparkliness. Golden, sparkly light coming in through your nostrils. Imagine it comes in all the way down into the lungs and spreads out through the vast space of your mind, through your body. So that your mind is accepted as it is, your body is accepted as it is. And now we're going to do some breathing meditation. Follow the breath in all the way down and out. And we're introducing focus on the breath, concentration on the breath. And concentration brings peace. When we concentrate on the breath in meditation, it settles the mind. Lovely, really nicely. Follow the breath down and out. And if your mind wanders away, don't critique it. If you notice critiquing, like, oh, I'm not doing this right, just leave that. Come back to the task at hand. Really simple instruction. Come back to the task at hand. Follow the breath in and follow it out again. Don't worry about how many times you have to do this. This bringing back, it brings the peace. Now bringing the awareness into the nostril linings. Notice it's cooler as you breathe in, and it's warmer as you breathe out. Stay intently focused on these sensations. And now focus at the rims of the nostrils. You may have done this hundreds of times as a meditator. Approach it as a beginner, fresh each time. Notice the sensations at the rims of the nostrils, where it's most cool, where it's most warm, and let your mind ease into this concentration, into this peace. Give your mind permission to be peaceful. It's okay for you to be peaceful. Okay, now I'd like you to, like we did last week, picture somebody or something in front of you. It's really easy to develop affectionate love towards your pet, your grandparent, your grandchild, um, your partner, your children, whoever it might be, your best friend. Just whoever and whatever it's easiest to. Maybe somebody who's passed away, by the way. Happily go there. That can be beautiful. Whoever, whatever helps you to bring up affectionate love towards them easiest, just make it easy. Picture them, think about them, allow your heart to open up towards them. Feel that fondness. That fondness is affectionate love. If your mind moves away from that fondness, come back to it. Think about that person or that animal again. And just allow that heart to open and feel that beautiful affection, that fondness, and then rest in it for a little while. Like we focused on the breath, rest in that fondness feeling. And now bring that fondness, that affection to yourself. Allow that image of them to melt away. And allow this loving feeling, this fondness to come into you. This affection. If it doesn't work, we'll change it, but give yourself a little bit of time to see if it will work, see if there's resistance or not. Allow that affection to come into you and be imbued within you, and rest your mind with that. If there's resistance, then this is the self-loathing that I described earlier. You can keep trying to develop the affectionate love, go back to the person or the animal, develop that fondness, that affection, and then drop that imagination and bring it into you. If it still won't work, or you want to do this now, and I recommend you do it now for the purposes of practicing with me, is you start looking for the self-loathing. Now, if you've got the heart opening and you've got this affection, then you won't find the self-loathing because you've melted it away. So you stay with the affectionate feeling and just rest with it like you would the sensation around the nostrils. It's the focal point of the bringing back the mind. Just rest in that affection. No more thinking, no more thinking needed. Drop the thinking mind if you can, as best you can, don't worry. Rest in that peace. Now, for those of you who've struggled, can't open up the heart, can't feel it, there's a real beautiful opportunity to find that state of mind that's been causing the trouble and running the show. What does this critical mind want to say to you? Give it permission to speak. It can't really hurt you. These words are not you. They're not for you. They're not about you. This state of mind is totally deluded and distorted. It's your critical voice from your parent or your sibling or your teacher or the bully down the road that got picked up when we made things mean different things. Just imagine that self-loathing is there and let it speak. Let it say all the most putrid, horrible things. And it's not about you. It's just a voice in your head. Let it speak and watch carefully. Keep breathing. And now, if you can, bring your awareness into your body, somewhere from the neck downwards. There'll be a feeling of this self-loathing. The speech is coming from it. The speech in the head is being driven by it. Search around like you did with a body scan. The chest, the stomach, the loins, the throat, up and down the middle. See if you can feel the self-loathing. It's a subtle feeling in my experience, maybe different for you. But give yourself time to check. If you're scared, just allow yourself to be scared and still do it. Notice where that feeling is. See if you can have a look. Now, it might be the first time you've ever done it, so be open to not finding it. Just explore around. If you're meditating on love, keep going with it, keep resting in it. And when you find the tension in your mind that is self-loathing, just accept it as best you can. Let it be here 100%, because love melts it away. Melt disempowers it. So love disempowers it. If we were to poke around in there, there'd be shame, guilt, disgust, all sorts of states of mind, but generally get a feel for the pot that is self-loathing. Keep breathing, keep relaxing. And if you've only been able to notice self-loathing very roughly for a few moments and then your mind jump away, that's a massive step. Please don't judge today's meditation on duration of focus on, or even finding it. This is maybe the first time you've ever done this, and it's a massive moment in our lives to actually try to isolate the mind of self-loathing in meditation. It's a big, big deal. There's loads and loads of advantages. So before we come out of meditation, I'd like to just rest. Feel pleased about doing such a profound thing. It really is profound. We can meditate for years and years and years trying to enhance positive states of mind on top of self-loathing. So to go this deep into ourself, it's a big deal. So just spend a few moments allowing yourself to feel happy that you've set this time aside for such a profound period in your life, in your day, in your week. And then when it comes, it feels right, just allow your eyes to open. Remain aware of how you feel and what you feel, and allow it to be. So you're holding it, giving it space for the rest of the evening. Thank you very much. So thank you for meditating with me. And if you'd like to watch more meditations or this one again, then you can find it on Paul Follows Meditations on YouTube. And if you want to sign up for reminders of these classes to receive reminders and updates, you can do that at the front page of my website, paulfollows.com. Thank you.